Awesome. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our regular Tuesday night professional networking on Zoom with Collaborating Connections. My name is Donna Evans Casey, and I am the leader of the group. Collaborating Connections is part of the TTR networking family, and TTR stands for To the Rescue Networking. We've been actively networking with professionals in Central Indiana, starting out more than 14 years ago. And now Collaborating Connections is just one of several groups under the TTR networking umbrella. And we meet weekly on Tuesday nights at 6:00 p.m. on Zoom. And we've been meeting on Zoom since COVID, and it has allowed us to expand our connections well beyond Central Indiana. Now we're able to connect with wonderful professionals from coast to coast and around the world. So if you happen to be viewing a recording of this meeting, know that we look forward to meeting you and talking with you. If you have a business and you would like to join us on a future call, introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your business, we would be happy to welcome you. So feel free to connect with us on the TTR networking website or the Collaborating Connections Facebook or LinkedIn pages. We start out our week pretty much acknowledging wins that have occurred amongst our members and visitors. So I want to open the floor and hear what's been going on with our professionals and what types of wins you have experienced within the past week or coming up shortly. Wins that you expect to have. So anybody got any wins or celebrations to share? No? Oh,
you're all going to be saying, yeah, Jennifer. I sent out the email for the upcoming Fun Friday, and I think I sent it out twice. So I was so excited. You're not only going to get it once, you're going to get it twice. And you're not losing your mind. It's Jennifer lost her mind. Actually, it was one of those things. I added a couple people to the list, and then I realized I sent it just but send it to everybody. So anybody's got a comment, take it offline, and I'll deal with it. But no, I'm excited because we do have an upcoming TTR Fun Friday. Our next one is August 23rd. So to me, that was a big accomplishment to get that out. So it sounds silly, but we're excited. It'll be kind of right before the football season starts. So celebrating football, and hopefully everybody on the, everybody there will get into the spirit a little bit. So that's a win. And we're going to a music job right now. So that's a win. Yeah.
Fantastic. Good, good. Thanks for sharing. All righty. Any wins going on? Anything new? We haven't heard about ANA Solar in a while. Anything going on there?
You know what? There's actually a lot going on. Thank you for asking. We sat on there's some really good things happening. We were part of a government, how you get grants, certain businesses, and really almost, I don't think there's anybody on this call that wouldn't benefit from understanding what the government will pay for. That sounds funny, but we sat on a call because Javi 3 had actually referred us to a guy that helps people get government um, uh, job. And in that same vein, Nancy and Nicole had shared some stuff with us. There's some programs about getting solar panels, a grant program that's available for people to get in churches to get grant or to get solar panels installed at basically nothing for the anyway. So there's a lot going on, and I know everybody probably is like, well, get on with it already, but there are a lot of different little ways. So I guess what we would just put it out there to keep, you hear about these opportunities like that. Please let us know. The ANA Solar is plugging right along. So right now he's driving the car, so I can't even turn the phone over to him. But yeah, lots of things going on, and we will keep you posted. But there are a lot of programs that even in Colorado, all over the place. There's great programs that are available for people to go solar. So, if there are, but it's just being aware and getting the education, learning what the programs are. So we'll have more to talk about, I'm sure, in the very near future. But that is, yeah, thank you for asking. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if a church is paying a couple $100 a month or more for electricity, and they could get solar panels for free through a grant program and then they're not even going to have any, basically any electrical bill. That's just like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So it gets very exciting.
Excuse me, there is still an electric bill to be had, even with solar panels, just so you know. They're not free. It's not free.
No, but that's residential too, right? Or is that for the church?
No, that's residential, but I would question they charge you at least a connection fee. Duke, our friends at Duke. So there is some bill that you're gonna still see.
Okay. Well, we will know more about it. Right now we're trying to make sure we understand all the stuff that we're getting, and lots of great connections. And Dion Robinson from our group here was one of the connections to the government opportunities that are out there too. And we literally sat on a 3-hour webinar last week with a guy that was presenting to a whole big group. But it's just amazing when you put it out there, the connections that people have and information they share. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. That just reminds me to share with the group that our theme for the month of July is Jot It Down. And part of what that theme is all about is while we're on these calls, when you hear a bit of information that is helpful for either yourself or perhaps helpful for somebody that you know, jot that down. It's good information to pass on. When Pavi 3 introduced you to the gentleman putting on the seminar on grants, which is actually applicable to a bunch of businesses who may be interested in getting some funding, let's make sure that we jot these things down, and even feel free to share. Let's post it on our social media and share it amongst professionals, because you never know who can take advantage of the wealth of information that's out there for businesses.
That's a great point. And actually, if Nicole makes the call tonight, she has a lot of great information about jotting, journaling and all of that has, just an extension of the jot it down. Just putting it out there as educational stuff, or sharing it with other people so they can benefit. So great point, Dawn. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All righty. Who else has any wins or celebrations that they would like to share? Come on now. It doesn't take much.
Well, I know CB and Catherine and their family are on a much needed. I don't know for sure, but I know they go away for a week where they turn out, they unplug, and so that's where CB is at. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you probably did.
I did
So
not.
yeah, they just take off. I don't know where it is, like Minnesota or something, and they just go to this cabin and they stop everything. So I'm sure he would. And I was thinking, where's CB when we need him? Oh, that's where he's at. He's off vacationing with his family. So hopefully they get a really nice week to do stuff. I don't know if it's Minnesota. You guys have heard him. I don't remember where it is, but it's somewhere where they are on a lake and they just literally unplug.
Okay,
So,
cool. Well, Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes, or
Yes, it is. So
I thought
that's
that was
could be
it,
where
but
they
I
are.
don't. Yeah, and I know she was looking forward to it, except she said it's so, they have to take so much, they have to take soap and, everything, because there's nothing, and towels and all of that kind of stuff. So I
Sounds
know
like
it's a big,
Minnesota.
yeah.
It sounds like a cabin. Well, my family used to go up there years ago and
Oh, okay.
fishing on the lakes. So, and there was nothing in these cabins. They were nothing. You brought your own stuff. So
That may be it then. That may
Mhm.
be. I think she was really excited, but it was a lot of work to prepare. So
Mhm.
hopefully, but that's a win for them. I hope.
that is a win. That is a win. Self-care is always a good thing, and taking some time to unplug and refresh and spend time together with family, of course, is great. I was thinking my win in the past week, oh goodness. So I started working on some travel plans that are kind of a mesh of the various business and interests that I'm working in. So one is travel to, oh gosh, what is the name of it? Seattle, Washington in December, which is before the snow falls. So it might be cool weather, but definitely not snow on the ground. But I've identified a list of chocolate places in Seattle to tour and check out for my chocolate blog. So it's a little bit of travel, it's a little bit of foodie fun and chocolate tasting that I'm looking forward to. So that's my win. And actually right now the prices for the travel are to Seattle look pretty good for the month of December. So even as it's ramping up for the holidays, I hope to get that all wrapped up and then get some marketing out. So that is my business win, my personal win. I traveled to Michigan this past weekend to visit my mom, and I got there and she had a whole list of to-do items for me as usual. And I'm just so happy that my mom at 86 is still, able to live on her own independently. But
Very.
certainly when I show up, she's a big smile on her face, and she's like, "All right, let's get to it. This is what needs done." So we were able to complete everything over the weekend before I came back to Indianapolis, and I also had a chance to have some fun with my high school classmates. So I have added more people to my contact list for send out cards from my high school classmates that I ran into this past weekend. So those are my wins. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
That's awesome.
Robert, Nancy, anything to share? Nancy, were you I know that you invited some folks to the call tonight, and you mentioned one you met because they had a sick bird. So were you able to provide some consultation in that in that manner? And was that a win? Was it a good thing?
I will say, and it's like, what happened is they took it to a vet that wasn't really a bird vet. And to treat birds, a lot of times they wrap them in towels. Well, they broke the bird's wing.
Oh,
And
no.
then they sent her home with the bird
Oh,
Oh,
with no painkiller, no nothing. So then
oh,
it was, and it's very common for people that treat birds that don't know what they're doing to towel. You know, you think it would be easy, but you can suffocate your bird with toweling them because you don't have to hold them real tight because of their air sac breathing, and they could suffocate easily. That happens a lot too. But she found another vet and connected with her, and she's a graphic design artist, and she's looking for jobs to help pay for the bird. They haven't decided if they're going to try to just try to, I guess, put screws and stuff in the wing, or amputate it is where the choices I believe were. So they're thinking about that. But yeah, that was her problem. And then she had a girlfriend, and she went to AFA, which is what is AFA? AFA stands for, I gotta look it up, because American Federation of Aviculture. And she ended up sending a bunch of emails, and she was impressed with us because she ended up with at least 3 people contacting her from her mass emails.
good.
So I mean, it was pretty cool that 3 people responded, not that we could help too much, but we could just give her suggestions. And it's like, I was impressed. I was impressed with AFA and for people around that responded to her, because it was like, I was looking for one thing and I found her in junk. And it was like, oh my God, like, how old is this? Oh, it was just yesterday. So, but we got her some help, and not that I'm not sure what she was looking for, probably financial help. And AFA doesn't do that, but just knowing there are other people out there. And she was impressed with organizations that would let her come in and check and see what was happening in their organizations, and without even knowing her. So I take she's a no-show tonight, but I'll follow up with her anyway. And I was going to find out what happens Thursday when she goes back with the bird anyway. So we'll see, but she may be in here one of these days.
okay. Well, we'll look forward to meeting her. And you might want to connect her with the crazy red-haired lady who
There you go.
talks with animals.
There
So,
you go.
Find out how her bird feels about the
There you go.
situation of being mishandled by one veterinarian and then having to recover.
Right.
Yeah. See, that is the wonderful thing about networking is, as you're talking and sharing, you find commonalities, you find opportunities to connect and share all types of helpful stuff as we go. So
Right.
glad to hear that. All right. Any other wins tonight? All right. Well, next up, I love to turn to our fearless leader, Jennifer Johnson, and ask for just to share with us any updates that are going on in TTR networking overall. Jennifer, what you got?
Sorry. Hey, John. I was just texting. We were at my music job, so we're going to unload here and get set up, because I always like to make sure I've got everything working before I start trying to sing through it. But I will just share that we've had kind of a lull in activity, not just extra things. We have our weekly groups, and I would encourage people to get on our website, which is ttrnetworking.com, or you can go to the totherescuein.com, and you can go and follow the connections. Our big thing, like I said earlier, we've got on August the 23rd, which seems like a ways out. I know this group has a special event coming up for our members that meet locally, and that is happening sooner. But the biggest event we have coming up is on the 23rd of August. It's at the Cohatch that's on Lewis Street in Indianapolis. It's the newest Cohatch. The event goes from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Friday, August 23rd, and you do not need to be a member. We just like you to register. And it's Fun Friday for a reason. For that Friday, we are asking you to wear your favorite football jersey. Come in ready to get to know some new people, celebrate the beginning of football season, even if you're not necessarily a fan. And we're going to networking for a cause is 100 Black men. And that is in the email that I sent out. It's also going to be on our website here very soon. I didn't get it posted on that, but everybody got it who's a member or on our contact list. They got it twice. So anyway, that is the biggest thing. We have a number of events that are coming up that are both online and in person. So keep your eyes open on our website. I would just encourage you to do that. We also have, if you go to Eventbrite, you could even subscribe to our Eventbrite. I guess you can maybe not subscribe. Maybe you just like it or something. Then you'll get it as soon as we release dates. And we do have a variety of meetings now. We have a couple things coming up in September that are completely new ideas for TTR. So keep your eyes open, and just thank you, Dawn, for continuing to persevere with you're the only night group. And I would just ask before I jump off, I am putting together an email that I want to send out to our members and then post on our social media and website. But I want to know what each group really wants, the industry exclusive, which I know this group basically is industry exclusive. We have maybe some overlap, but who do you want in your group? Industry wise, that is, and I really think that's important. We have one group that meets that over and over and over again, they keep talking about they want a divorce attorney. And it's like, well, that's kind of depressing, but not really. I mean, because a mortgage person is one who wants it, but there's also a realtor, there's also financial people. So everybody would benefit from that, if that makes sense. So anyway, I would just encourage you, if you want to visit us, though, please, we've got groups. Obviously, we'd love to have them come visit this group. So that we just got a lot going on. I cannot tell you how happy I am that we have the groups we have, because I really feel like they really matter. So thank you all for what you do. Keep on connecting. That's what it's all about. So
Absolutely.
thank you. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta leave.
No problem. Hope you have a wonderful set tonight, Jennifer, and we'll look forward to, I hope that you're available for our special event next week. So just keep me posted. Take care now.
I will. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. I want to say welcome to Kristen Ashley, who has joined us.
Thank you.
Nancy let us know that you may be visiting with us this evening, and we look forward to hearing about you and your business. We started off the call after 6 o'clock celebrating, talking about wins and celebrations that individuals have had within the past week or coming up shortly. So I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to share with us along those lines, a business win or a personal win that we can just celebrate with you.
Well, the most recent thing happened actually about a month ago. I've been working for the Chicago Tribune for some time. I'm a graphic designer and a writer and a photographer. And so they posted one of my articles on the front page of their senior magazine in the Tribune, which reaches so many people. So that was a real success for me. And I was able to do not only the article, but the photography and the design of the article. So I think that's a first.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations.
It was a travel article about Door County, Wisconsin. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that in the Midwest. You're all located on the East Coast then, or?
Where I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. I think
Okay,
we are all central Indiana located. Yeah.
okay, so you're just a time zone away, just a state away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being with us and for sharing that.
Oh, thank you.
Next up, we're gonna go ahead and start our roundtable introductions. So I am going to ask Nancy Vesley. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
I am. I'm Nancy Vesley. I American Insurance. I help people with health insurance, both under 65 people and then the Medicaid or Medicare people over 65. Season is getting ramped up. Well, we got till September, October, so we got a while, but we're in training now to get all our training done before then. And but I'm helping people with short-term policies that because the laws change on September 1st, they need to either sign up for a tri-term or they will only have their insurance for 3 months when it expires out for next year or for later this year because of the law changes. Which surprisingly, I haven't seen in the news. I started sending it out and posting it, but I haven't seen too much of it being published, which is kind of scary for people. Nobody tells them.
That is weird. Whose responsibility is that to communicate?
I would think it would be the insurance companies would have to say something to people. Or, it's a law change. I mean, I don't know how many people actually follow laws that, well, see, I wouldn't even know because I don't know where I would think it's kind of a mute point. Nobody's saying anything,
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that ends up being a pile up of
There you go.
with questions seeking answers all at the busiest time of year for you. I hope it doesn't bombard you that way, but certainly I know that you stay on top of the changes in the regulations and laws. So so you're the one to turn to.
Okay.
All righty. In response to Jennifer's question, I want to ask everyone as they're presenting tonight. So what types of professionals or industries are you looking to connect with?
Okay, I'm just looking for individuals that do their own health insurance that don't use their employers is what
Okay.
I'm looking for.
Okay, so not a particular and anybody, any other industry or professional would be a good referral for you.
Right. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments for Nancy Vesley? Good. Okay. Next, Robert Haley. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure, why not? Good evening, everyone. It's Robert Haley with Old National Bank here, based out of Indianapolis and out of here. We are a Midwest bank that kind of touch base. We do loans in all 50 states. I focus mostly a lot on first-time home buyers, low to moderate income folks to help them to become homeowners. We have a fantastic program for first-time home buyers. We have down payment assistance, and we have a program that allows you to do a loan for $600 with a 600 credit score, with only $500 contribution of their own money, and a manual underwrite, no mortgage insurance. huge in that sense. And you have up to $15,000 to help them, to assist them with, which is forgivable at closing. I've been doing this business over 25 years, give you a wealth of knowledge in that sense. But we can do, I do loans on all loans, but but I do focus mainly on that first-time home buyer. So if you had a question about anything, or you're buying a home or buying a home for the first time, or you're looking to maybe change residence, as they say, or reimagine your current home, and assist you in that matter itself. But Robert Haley, Old National Bank.
All righty. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, what is your territory or your geographical limitations on
Well,
doing mortgage business?
I can do a loan in all 50 states, so therefore, I'm a bank, so I can do it there itself. My previous, before I came to Old National, I was with Bay First National Bank, which I did a lot of business all outside of in all states. So it didn't matter. So I do that all the way. Again, the only thing that changes that depends on what you're trying to do, determine how I can or cannot help you. But most importantly, my vast experience and knowledge can definitely lean itself towards someone, for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I have a
Awesome.
question, Robert. I had a girl on Westfield, I think Westfield Chatter showed up, and she was asking if there was anyone, and I hesitated because she was so far away from you. Would you help her
Yeah.
or not? Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I still do. Some of my old clients call me from all of Washington State, Washington, D.C., Florida, Texas. I help out all of them.
Okay. I'll next time something comes up, I'll add your information in there. Let me make sure. Old National is the bank,
Old
right?
National Bank. Mhm.
Let me make sure my copy note is correct.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes people may just need a consult. They're not sure ready to do anything yet, but at least a consult to understand what their options are, potential options are. And my goal is to advise accordingly. Again, but I tell people no one's going to give you factual information unless you put an application in their system, provide documentation, and then you can be a bit factual about you. But when people are talking to you, it's talking in generality. Here's what possibilities. Here's what some things to think about. So think that way.
Awesome. And in response to Jennifer's question, Robert, are there other industries or professions that you work well with in networking, that anybody else that you're looking for industry wise to?
Well, networking, think of it as two factors here. Networking, one, business to business, those that play in my field, that anyone that have a FaceTime with people is a potential referral. So, you talk to someone, no matter where you are, it can be a potential referral. So we talk to them, they could be someone I can assist and help. Though directly in report, anyone that's looking to consider buying a home, doing consulting, think about that nature, or want to know what their options are, or if they have any options, just thinking about buying a home, have a current home, looking to maybe make an investment property, or just want to understand what some things, just have some general questions. Because in this field I play in, there's a lot of noise out here. I call it noise because no factual information, but again, from all different sources, but not factual. But I'll tell people, factual information, anything that's dealing with you, per se, what you're trying to accomplish. And when you want to know what you qualify for, you really got to be willing to put your information in someone's system and let them advise and making sure the person you want to talk to. Yeah. Speak factual to them. So you can't worry about what their cousin did, the friend did, anything like that, because it's not their footprint.
Gotcha. When Jennifer was talking about the solar panels, and I understand that there are some programs that that market themselves as providing free solar panels to residential homes, but in the case where a cost may be incurred and a homeowner might need a home equity loan or line or something of that nature to be able to update or upgrade their home. Are those types of home lending also within your purview?
Well, the home equity line of credit is really always is done in our branches. Every branch does them. So what I would do is refer them to a branch that I know will get them taken care of there, because that's the only thing that the branch originated as a mortgage is the line of credit
Okay,
itself. But everything else from a mortgage standpoint outside of the line will come through me or another mortgage person like myself when I
Okay.
come.
gotcha.
But a line of credit is it's a lot more. I tell people, think of it this way: 99% of people that have a line of credit don't need it because they don't use it right. One, two, the other 1.5%, 2% is if someone that owns a business and understands and has the resources to use and pay back, And most people, if you have projects you're trying to do, you really dig your line of credit because you don't want to pay all the costs up front, because you want to use it as you pay as what you own, what you use. Once you complete your project, you want to convert that, if you can pay it off or convert it back into your mortgage, or you have the ability to pay 2 or 3 times more than a required payment, because the required payment is an interest-only payment. And the loan would say interest only for 10 years. After 10 years, it converts to a regular second mortgage, and that rate's going to be either 7 or 8 times higher than it was before, and then give you a very high payment. It's like, whoa. So really, I tell people, while get it done, refinance the loan again, convert it back into your first mortgage, and move on, because your project is over.
Okay.
So it's just really people understanding that part of it, and understanding what they need to do, understand their project, know what it is, and really fully understand what a line of credit is and what the possibility, because a line of credit, a lot of people don't know that the bank can call it due at any given time. Either if your credit score change, if your value of your home drops, the bank can call the loan due. And people are like, what? I said, yes. You got to read all the small print. So you got to really understand how a line of credit works and what it does. They're all good as long as you're educated about how it works.
Okay. Thanks so much for sharing that, Robert. Are there any other questions for Robert Haley and Old National Bank? All righty. Well, next I would like to invite our visitor, Kristen Ashley. Are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Thank you. Yes, I am. Thank you for letting me join in today and present my business to you. I'm a freelance graphic designer, writer, and photographer, and I feel like I gave a little bit of this information away when I was talking about celebrating my success there. And I have been working for different companies, including different publishers, doing magazines, print work, but I also work with books and book covers and helping people that are self-publishing design their work. So in addition to that, the logos and the that I'm doing, I'm actually helping Nancy with something here, and I'm looking forward to that. And I really love working with people that have an interest in nature and animals. I'm a bird owner and a big advocate of animals, especially, and I work for the Open Lands Association that is near here. So I do all their social media and their website and things like that. So that would probably answer the second question pretty much, of things that I'm looking for: people that are going to publish their own books, people that have a magazine or a need for a logo for a club, something like that, or places that are affiliated with nature and the environment.
Gotcha.
Those would be kind of the demographics that I look for. But I've designed all kinds of things. I was the art director at Chicago Home and Garden for some time. And so I do a lot of magazine and home interiors and things like that. And I've even designed logos and things for banking and for financial places too. So Robert, if you need a logo for something, let me know too. And thank you for letting me introduce myself today. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. We're happy to have you. It's always a pleasure to meet and connect with other business professionals out there because, as we were talking at the top of the call, you never know what things you have in common, and you never know how you might be able to help and connect. It's not always on that first line of business that people talk about. That you and Nancy share the interest, the love of birds and animals. You know, that's definitely a connection opportunity right there. And then you get to talk about so much more and find other opportunities where there may be connections or an opportunity to help. So again, we're very glad to have you with us. I did hear you mention that you are in the Chicago area. So I want to ask, just for clarity, because this call is recorded and then we share it on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, and so forth. If there are individuals who may be interested in your graphic artistry or any of your print work or whatever, do you have limitations in working with clients? Do they have to be local? Can you manage your business with clients who are coast to coast or perhaps in another country?
I could actually go international, and you know, I have relatives in the UK, and I'm designing a logo for one of my cousins there too. So because I'm remote and I have all my own equipment and all the Adobe programs, which is the big programs that you use for graphic design, then I'm able to connect with people from any walks of life and any location as well. So that would be a pretty broad-based opportunity for me to get the word out. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, no problem. That's what we love to do. That it was when we started Collaborating Connections, we actually met in person in Central Indiana. And then when COVID hit, we went to this virtual format. But I actually enjoy it so much more because it does really open up the opportunity to connect with, you know, like-minded individuals or people who are in need of our products and services who are located far and wide. So we are certainly glad to have you with us tonight. Thanks again. Does anyone else have any questions for Kristen Ashley this evening?
Kristen, how's Griffin?
Griffin is hanging in there. I have a parrot who was injured at the vet when he was getting something very simple for a beak trim. And he's actually 22 years old, and he's a wonderful parrot, and he's very dear to me because I've had him for so long, since he was just a little baby. He was 6 weeks old when I got him, and he looks exactly the same, and I want to know his secret because he never ages. He never looks any different at all. He had his wing broken, unfortunately. It was a case of an assistant not handling him correctly, and it just was a panic. And I've just been reaching out to all these bird clubs, and I have a very good friend who is also an animal lover, and she's been calling places too, and that's how we connected with Nancy. So thanks for asking. He's got his wings splinted, and we're hoping we can save it and have him lead a life. He's just happy to be home right now, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Best of luck in his recovery. And I was mentioning to Nancy that, you know, we have a psychic medium in our network who speaks to animals.
Oh, how interesting.
She might be a good contact for you and Griffin as you go through this recovery phase with your birds. So
that would be great.
I was also
that's a really interesting connection there. I would definitely like to pursue that. I'll have to give you my email or my contact information so that we can communicate moving
Yes, please.
forward here. I know Nancy has it.
Okay, and you could also add it to the chat area here in our Zoom discussion,
Okay,
if that helps at all.
okay.
Another contact that I'm thinking about as you were talking, you would like to be connected with individuals who do self-publishing for your print work and graphic artistry. We have a professional printer that is one of our global partners of TTR Networking, Robert Bonjour, and he may be a contact for you as well.
Well, that's a great print, a great contact. Printers always know people that want to publish something and have that need, you know, for a freelancer. That I'd appreciate that. Sure.
So, you know, that's just part of what we do in networking is we're listening and thinking of what makes a good connection for, you know, for our professionals. So those are just a couple that came to mind as I was listening to you. But certainly as we share the recording of this networking meeting with others, you may find other opportunities or individuals reaching out to you. So please share with us your contact
I
information.
will do that. I'll find the chat and put that on there for us.
Okay,
Thank you.
And next, I want to say welcome, Nicole Williams. It's so nice to see your smiling face today.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm late,
No
but
problem.
I'm so excited to be here with y'all.
Perfect timing. So Nicole, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yes, I sure am. Wow, thank you. Nicole Williams. I am a social media strategist. I have the pleasure and honor of helping clients kind of look at what social media platforms that they are using and kind of work with them on their vision of where they would like their company to be. That might be showing them a variety of creative ways. I help create posts, and I like to call them Canvas. So I don't know if Kristen, if you're familiar with Canva, it's actually a platform that we create graphics on. So I like to help drive traffic to their pages and help with their brand awareness and help them evolve from just a seller of a product or a service to someone you want to trust, someone like, you know, like your neighbor or your trusted friend or something like that. So I have a lot of fun. So that's what I do. And some places you might have seen some of my work are on the TTR networking pages and groups. So I do a lot of work with Jennifer and others in there. But thank you for allowing me to tell you about myself. And it's so nice to see everybody and to meet you, Kristen.
It's nice to meet you.
Thanks,
you.
Nicole. We were, before Jennifer got off the call, she made a request for everyone to think about and speak about what other industries, what other types of professionals you're looking to connect with specifically, who might know the people that you're looking to connect to, or who might have something complementary to your business to work with. So is there any industry or professional title that you can think of that you'd like to be connected to?
Gosh, you know, other freelancers, you know, other you know, great knowledge. And I like how you had suggested Robert Bonjour, and you know, to help with the publishing, you know, Kristen, and then Kristen, you know, made that, you know, connection, because you're right, people know people, you know, but really you know, just someone that maybe you're chatting with, business professional, because I help all kinds, you know. So I have like some clients are realtors, mortgage brokers, writers, just different various ones that that just might, you know, say something like, you know, I Facebook I use, but I really don't know if I'm getting all of it out of that I could. You know, I notice others, you know, have great success with it. You know, I wish I knew something, you know, or maybe there's like a magic formula or something that someone that might just give advice, or, I just love to learn about others, what they do, and just like have those one-on-ones, because you just never know how you can help somebody and, help them succeed too. So thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Nicole
Well,
Williams?
I do have a comment for you, and it's nice that we met too, because I think we could definitely communicate as well, because I was mentioning, I think before you came on, that I do some work for an open lands association, which is an environmental group. And they were just abysmal about putting social media things up. Like every once in a while, somebody posts something of the back of people planting, and you just see their rear ends, as they're
Oh.
shoveling or something. And it's like, you guys need to do something with your social media. And so I've just
Yeah.
taken that over in addition to doing their newsletter.
good for
And there are
you.
other things. So I'm
Okay.
trying to get a good social media presence for them. Now I used to
Yeah.
do things for the symphonies in the area before the pandemic hit. And the
Okay.
concert industry just, everything just tanked. But I worked for about 5 different symphonies, and one of them I did all their social media work as well, which was
Okay.
fun, and work with the musicians and everything. So that might be another place that you could look in Indiana,
Yeah.
the
Well,
local
thank
symphony.
you. I
People
never
really
thought of
need
that.
that, and they
Okay.
usually have a board member doing it, a
Okay.
volunteer of some sort that just says, oh, okay, I'll take this on. But it's a really fun industry to be involved with. My partner is a musician and
Oh,
does
wow.
lectures for the symphonies as well. So I think that would be a good thing to look at too.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I would love to exchange information, and, maybe we can do a Zoom and, chat a little bit more and share
That'd be
ideas.
great. Yeah, I'll put my
you.
contact information in
Same
here.
here. Okay. Thank you. Wow.
Awesome. That's just what we do with Collaborating Connections. I'm so
Right.
excited.
A great resource. Put this in here.
So, I guess I'm last. I'm next, but before I introduce myself and my interests, I want to make note of our members who were not able to be on the call here tonight. While we love getting together once a week and building strong business relationships with each other, certainly when other things take precedence, when there's business to be done, when our professionals are tending to their family and whatnot, we completely understand. But I want to make sure to make note of Deanna Murray, who is the owner and operator of Resenergize Sanctuary, which is an alternative healthcare environment with energy systems that help calm and help repair the body. So Deanna's not able to be here tonight, but Resenergize Sanctuary is located in the Nora area here in Indianapolis, and they have a website which anybody can go to for further information about all of their offerings and services. Another professional of ours is C.B. Bjork. He is with Ascension Imaging. So he does photography, professional headshots. He does special events photography. He also does aerial photography with a drone. So if anybody has a need for, any types of photography, certainly CB Bjork and Ascension Imaging and their wide knowledge of photography may be the connection to help. I briefly mentioned Robert Bonjour, who is one of TTR Networking's global partners. He is the owner and operator of Offset Printing, also here in the central Indiana area. And they are a family business that's been around for generations now. He recently did a project for me, just creating and printing hand fans for my family reunion. and they turned out great. And I'm so appreciative. So Robert does everything from book printing or presentations or posters and just a wide variety of items. So again, any printing needs, Robert Bonjour with Offset Printing is a great resource. And I also have Pavi3 Kilgore, who is owner and chief consultant with KPSK Consulting. And they do HR and payroll consulting for small to intermediate sized businesses. She mentions that often HR details and regulations are sometimes back burner issues when a small business is just getting off the ground and trying to operate day to day. So with her fractional consulting, she steps in and helps those businesses avoid, excuse me, avoid fines, avoid any compliance issues, and keeps them on track so that they can keep their profits in their pockets. Again, that's Pavi3 Kilgore with KPSK Consulting. Did I miss anybody? Nancy, Nicole? Okay.
Don't think so.
All righty. So again, my name is Dawn Evans Casey. My business that I joined TTR Networking with is Spa Travel, which is a full service travel agency. I traveled around for years and years myself in a professional role, and a friend said, Dawn, if you're doing all this traveling, why don't you get paid for it? And I found a wonderful host agency, and I help my clientele have enjoyable, memorable travel experiences and take the stress off of their plate while I listen to what they're looking to do, where they want to go, what the image of wonderful travel is for them, and provide them some proposals on that help meet their needs, their budgets, so that they don't have to surf the internet looking for the best bargains or the best places to go. I do all that heavy work for them. And even after the booking, I help my clients if they are having issues in their travels with canceled or delayed flights, or their accommodations aren't quite what they expect. I continue to be an advocate for my travel clients, talking to the vendors, working things out. Vendors are happy to work with me because they, of course, would love for me to bring more clients their way. And for customers, again, they get to have that stress-free or low stress travel experience. So it's something that I love to do. Additionally, in the past, let me see, in 2018, my husband and I got into family history and genealogy while we have been researching and doing our own. So we actually started a nonprofit called Claiming Your Roots, where we work with multi-generational families, from kids to teens, young adults, and seniors, everybody, pulling them, a family, into the experience of doing their own family history research based upon the skill sets that they already have. The kids love doing the internet searches. The seniors like making phone calls or writing letters. Adults may travel and get to visit courthouses or sites or new relatives that they've met. And we help them pull all of that information together into a wonderful keepsake that they can continue to build their family history and pass it to future generations. So that's what Claiming Your Roots is all about. We have a Facebook page where we share tips and tricks and motivation about family history, and encourage people to find out about their own cultures, learn about other cultures, and just really enjoy the family history and research experience overall. With the help of my good friend, Nicole Williams, in the past couple of years, I pursued a passion of mine, which is chocolate, and started writing a chocolate blog.
Mm.
And so it's called Cheerful Chocolate Spirit, and it is available on Facebook. For anybody who is interested, who is a chocolate lover, like myself, interested in recipes and poetry and stories and little quips and cartoons about the love of chocolate. It's a nice little thing to just break up your busy or hectic day to enjoy a little bit of chocolate. And it doesn't always have to be decadent when you're just reading about it or looking at the wonderful pictures of chocolate desserts. So Cheerful Chocolate Spirit is a public page on Facebook that I'm happy to share, and would love for more visitors to come like and follow the page. And I know it sounds like I do a whole lot of different things. I pull all of the different things together through Send Out Cards, which is a wonderful resource that helps me share appreciation with my various customer bases, keeps me connected to my family and my friends. And Send Out Cards is a resource where I can go online and create my own greeting card with pictures that I either have or find on social media or have available through the Send Out Cards database, and add my own words and sentiment instead of standing in a drugstore searching through the hundreds of cards trying to find the one that says the things that I'd like to say. And once I create the card and add an address and my information, Send Out Cards handles putting that postage on and sending it off to the recipients. So I've got a couple of examples here in my refrigerator of some wonderful little send out cards that I have received. And you would be surprised at the joy and the warmth that is conveyed through a card, a handwritten card. There's nothing like it. So if you're interested in perhaps utilizing Send Out Cards for your business or just for your personal use of staying in touch and showing appreciation to others, I'm happy to share details about that with individuals as well. So that's all the stuff that I do. That's Dawn Evans Casey. And if anybody has any questions or comments, I'd be happy to address them.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, I was just gonna say that I love how you have them on your refrigerator. You know, I know you can there's like the perfect size that you can put in a frame. You know, there's so much you can do. So
I
fun.
absolutely love them. I do. And it just picks me up when I've got some on my fireplace mantle.
Right.
I've got some in my bathroom mirror that are the motivational affirmations. And
Yes.
it's just a really cool thing that it reminds me of that fond moment of when I first opened it and enjoyed it. And it's something that I can do again and again. I love sharing that experience with other people.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
I was curious about your claiming your roots that you're doing one of your many projects. I'm like that too. As a freelance artist, I do so many things. I do lectures and public speaking as well. But the claiming your roots is something I'm really interested in. And I wondered, what do you do to give them a keepsake of all the things that you found? Is it a book or is it an online web page for them, or what is that?
They actually get to choose what works best for them, how they want to maintain their information. And we just give them guidelines and templates to help them gather it all up and put it together. There are individuals that love to keep everything online so that they can share it with their other family members, throughout the United States and abroad. So they use resources that digitize and maintain all of their information that way. There are individuals, I think the most popular one is the booklet that will include, you know, ancestors' pictures and current family members' pictures with little bios of those individuals. So it's so much more than just the name and birth date and death date. It's a little bit about, you know, where they grew up and what they did in life and what they enjoyed and, you know, what nicknames they were called by, and all of that goes into the little bios for each individual that they research. So I think that in a booklet form is probably the most popular keepsake that individuals have. Other ones do the photo album with detailed information down in the corner of, you know, what event that was, who was in the picture. You know, someone may have a particular memory of the event that they want to add to it. So that one's more of a total photo album type of a keepsake. But it all depends on what the clients are looking for, how
Yeah.
they best want to maintain their history.
That's a wonderful idea. I had done a book for a client and she ended up printing it through, I think Shutterfly or something, but there's, of course, your printer that you were mentioning could do that as well. And it was like a photo album, but it was a book, like a treasure book that you could give to your relatives at Christmas and had all the different ancestors in it. And she did all kinds of research, the person I was doing this from. So we had all kinds of things like little, say somebody was from Boston or something, we had some little engravings of Boston during the time in the 1800s when they would have lived, and then their pictures and everything. And it was really a nice scrapbook idea too, just something to add. And of course, if you ever need a graphic designer to help you with that, I'm here.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Something else to offer your people. I love your cards too. That's a great idea. And to have a database that people can choose things, stock images or cartoon type illustrations or something that just says what they want to say in the affirmations. I
Yeah.
think it's all real well thought out too. So bravo for you.
Okay. Thank you. I know it is 7:17. We usually wrap up, excuse me, by 7:30. But Nicole, I want to know, Jennifer kind of threw you under the bus when I started
I
talking
love being
about
thrown under the bus.
I started talking about our July monthly theme of Jot It Down.
Okay.
And she, of course, said, well, I hope Nicole makes it to the call because she's got all these wonderful resources and anecdotes about jotting it down, from journaling,
Oh gosh, yes.
etc. So I
Yeah.
want to give you some time to share with us your thoughts on
Okay.
our theme, Jot It Down, and what
Yeah.
each of us can be doing as professionals to capture those bits of information, useful ideas as they come to us, etc. And
Yeah.
manage them in a way that we don't just have a stack of doggone Post-its and things that we
Right.
usually discard.
Well, no, well, I still say use those. I still say, I do have like a part-time job in a church where I'm an admin and a parish administrator, and I've got sticky notes, where I'll be working on something and then like an idea will pop in my head. Write that down, and they say that some of the best things are like literally when you wake up. If you wake up, I don't know if this happens to you, Kristen, or anybody else, but like, you just like wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, just like an idea, literally, write it down. But really any kind of notebook or something, right now the back to school's on sale, get yourself those, they used to be 10 cents, but they might be 50 cents now, those spirals. We stack up on them. And I think what I've heard like with some clients is the intimidating thing is they feel like they have an idea and they have to write everything down. No. It's your book of ideas. Do a bullet point and just write a few things about it, and, just 3 things, 4 things or something like that. so that it will trigger your memory when you go back. And, I just love that. They could be used for social media posts. They could be used for your cards done, and same thing, if you're scrolling on your phone, if you have a few minutes and you're scrolling on your phone through Facebook, I find some great inspirational things on there, some great ideas, snap a picture, that you can, if you see that on somebody shares something on Facebook, slap it on a card, Dawn, and, see if you can mail it to that person, ask, hey, what's your mailing address, and everything. And how cool would that be? Share a post and then like get it in the mail, but really just make it simple and easy, jot it down, something you see on social media. I'm a big saver. What was it I was telling you the other day, Nancy? TikTok. I don't know if any of y'all get on TikTok. I have some dear friends who send me TikToks, who share things, including my Lainey, my daughter. See, it's quiet. Can you hear it's quiet? My two daughters and grandbaby went out to run some errands. So I'm like, I can think. I love them, but I can think. Okay. Anyway, so the TikTok thing, I see something, whether they're recipes or whatever, I save them. And then I was looking for a recipe, one of them the other day, and I couldn't find it. And because then I go to like the saved things. Well, they're not in order when you save them. No offense, I probably would find or haven't learned how to do that yet. So you have like 300 things and you're like, I have the ingredients. I just want to cook this. Have you seen it? It's the bananas. You mash the bananas and you put the eggs in the egg yolks and whatever, and you just make pancakes. Mine didn't come out pancakes, but anyway, but write down an idea, and everything, write ideas, and it was like a simple 3-thing recipe, I could have easily wrote it down or something, but instead I'm like, oh yeah, save it. And then you go back and you're like, what? But yeah, another thing too is, I don't know whether you use Word documents or Google. If you see something also on Facebook or a social media platform or an email or something, and it's a great idea, copy and paste it to a Word document, or a Google, and title it and then just file it. I do it by like the dates too. That helps me, and like a few keywords. So that's another thing that I do. And
recipes.
yeah, right. With the recipes. But yeah, so just little things, because I call those like the book of ideas. It could be a small book, it could be, the spiral 50-cent books, and just make it easy. Few words, jot it down, and like you say, kind of like jot it down. And how about you, Kristen? What about all your, do you get random ideas?
I do. I'm a writer and I'm an artist too. So I do vision boards of things. And that's what I love. And you can do that for any industry you're in too. It'd be great with your travel or with your roots program that you're doing and everything. That vision boards really help me. Just pictures out of magazines or things that I've seen online, and then print them out, cut them out, and put them together. And it's almost like having an intention for something to really manifest itself, because I can go back to these vision boards and have specific ideas for them, much like your books. But yeah, I'm a real list maker too, and I write down things a lot more in cursive, still,
Yeah.
which I think our younger people don't do too much anymore. Yeah.
I particularly like in the idea of jotting it down that, we're flooded with information, with pictures, with sounds, with everything to enliven our senses all day long. And the way that it comes to us, we'll record it the way that it touches us, it affects us, the way that we enjoy it. So it doesn't have to be something brand new. You can take an idea, a picture, a thought, or whatever, and creatively make it yours. However you want to jot down what it is that you get from it that is valuable is what you want to capture and kind of keep for inspiration, for fulfilling, a task, making a recipe later on, whatever. But jotting it down just gives us the opportunity to say, hey, I like that, or I enjoy it, or whatever. And I'm going to work with it and see what happens. So again, it works for all industries, for all professionals. And we are encouraging that creativity during the month of July with the Jot It Down theme. So I hope that everyone has gotten some little golden nuggets, something good out of today's meeting. We love to meet, as I mentioned, on a weekly basis because we think that that's the best way to build good relationships and to share valuable information amongst us. Kristen, I want you to know that we'd like to invite you back. Come visit with us again.
Thank
Feel
you.
free.
That'd be great.
The expectation from the recording, as I mentioned, we take this recording and share it to YouTube and share it on our social media. And I also like to add in the contact information so that if somebody is viewing this later and comes across it and says, hey, they mentioned just the thing that I'm looking for. I wonder who that is and how I can get in touch with them. And we want to make that available to our audience. So I have had a great time tonight with you all. I want to thank you for taking your time to be here with us and look forward to seeing you all again. So
Thank you, Dawn. Thank
take
you.
care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Lindsay.
Take
Have a
care.
Nice to meet you,
wonderful rest of the
Kristen.
week.
Okay, bye.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.